Hey everybody, welcome back to the Geek Vault. You're listening to episode 5. I'm Dan, and as always, I'm joined with Matt.
Hello everybody, good to be back. How is everyone? How are you, Dan?
I'm doing very good today. It's we're recording on Bank Holiday Friday, so I'm not working. It's a good day to chill and play games.
Yes, that's exactly what I've been doing this morning actually as well. It's bloody hot weather. It's beautiful today, actually. Good weather for bank holiday.
I love the sun, man. It's nice that it's back out. I'm thinking maybe later when it's a bit cooler I'm going to go for a run. But the main chunk of my day today is gaming, hopefully.
Yeah, I had the same thought. I've got to go on my run at some point today as well. I'm still doing that Couch to 5K app that you recommended, so I'm still working through that. Although it's getting tiring.
Yeah.
This running lark is is not worth it.
You just need to make sure you complete the segments, the runs, and the more you do it, you won't realise it, but it'll have a bigger impact on you and how you run.
I don't know, I've still like a small impact, I suppose, at the moment. I mean, the biggest impact I had at the moment this week was when I did my run earlier this week on Wednesday. I ran into a tree. I think I mentioned it to you.
Bloody hell, man. Only you could do that. That's like a me thing.
It's your fault. You convinced me to start running, so I'm going to blame you.
You got to watch out for trees, and you got to watch out for dogs as well.
Oh yeah, I did almost trip over a puppy, but that's because he wasn't on the lead, and he kept like chasing my feet and licking at my feet.
I was running the other day, and I've got my headphones in. I'm in my own little world, and I wasn't looking ahead of me, but I looked up and I just saw a dog running for me. So like I just beeline to the right, and like it was just for like a few moments I was being chased by a dog.
So all your running practice actually came into play. You just started running, and then you were actually running because you were running away from a dog.
Well, one of the things that I like to think about with my running is that when the zombie apocalypse comes, I'm going to be able to outrun a lot of people.
Oh yeah, you'll be able to outrun me for sure at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, if it comes to that, mate, I'll have to run, leave you behind. Sorry.
That's fair.
Got to look after me.
That's fair, mate. I don't blame you. I'd do the same.
But gaming wise, I've talked about Days Gone, I think, in the first episode, and I've played about an hour of it. I've not got fully into it yet, so I'm looking forward to just spending a bit of time killing some zombies.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really good, that game, actually. I haven't played it, although I've got a friend at work who was hugely into it. He's been playing it for like months on end, mostly because it took forever to actually finish it. But it's supposed to be a really good game.
I feel like that's going to happen with me as well, because like I just get distracted by other things, like Apex and Warzone.
Yeah, I agree, because Apex and Warzone are so easy to jump into. We played Apex for the first time in a while, like last night? It was last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the other night, I think. We've been playing a lot of Warzone lately, so Apex has kind of taken a back seat.
Yeah, well, Warzone's been annoying me, because Call of Duty wants constant updates. And despite the fact that it almost takes up 200 gigs on my PS4, it still crashes and still doesn't load up properly.
Yeah, I think that's what made us play Apex the other night, is because Warzone just kept crashing. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it kept disconnected, so we played Apex. And we only went in bloody one.
Oh my god, that was probably like... I've never been on edge in such a while playing that game. We were playing duos, and we had the worst possible start, like, imaginable.
Oh, yeah. We landed like next to this other sort of pair of duos who immediately started chasing us and hunting us down. And we ran round a mountain, and they followed us around the mountain, and we kept sort of stopping periodically to shoot back at them and keep going. And they were just chasing us in this circle round the mountain. So much so that we eventually ran round it and got behind them, and we started chasing them.
We became the hunters.
It was amazing. You felt powerful in that moment. It was a really fun game.
I have a tendency to run out and just go guns blazing, which doesn't always work.
You do. It's really annoying.
I can't help it. It's like an addiction. It's just like I want to shoot people.
There'll be like, I don't know, like a package or something at the end. You know, you got to go get the loot or something, and we'll be like scouting out the location, making sure it's safe to go and get it. And by the time we realise it's safe, you've already got it because you've just ran out straight.
Saves time.
I was playing God of War this morning, the new God of War game. I've had it for ages, but I've never actually played it. Of course, everybody is saying how much of a good game it is, so I started playing it, and it's pretty decent. The combat's good. It's not like the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. We'll see where it goes. I'm liking it so far.
I think my plan is either Days Gone or maybe Jedi The Fallen Order, because I got that at Christmas and I still haven't even like unwrapped it yet.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous. I really wanted to play that. Well, Star Wars Day, May the 4th, just came and gone, and I was thinking, if only I had Jedi Fallen Order, I would totally be playing that right now.
I would lend it to you, but like, unfortunately, you can't come here. Sorry.
No, yeah. Good excuse.
But Star Wars Day.
Oh, Star Wars Day was great. I spent the entire day watching The Mandalorian. Absolutely fantastic.
I had to work.
Yeah, you were working, unfortunately.
I spent the last 24 hours binge watching The Mandalorian, and it's possibly one of the best shows I've seen in a while. Like, it's so well done.
Visually looks absolutely astonishing. We'll get into it deeper in a bit. That's what we want to talk about. It's Star Wars Day. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's such a good show.
I mean, all day I saw Star Wars all over my Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. What's Rise of the Skywalker?
Oh, did you rewatch it?
No. But, like...
I
feel like Disney really wanted me to watch it on Star Wars Day.
It was being advertised everywhere, wasn't it? Every, like, Facebook post you scroll past, always there was an advert for Rise of the Skywalker. It was everywhere. I ended up continuing with the Clone Wars and watching a bit more of that as well. I've got up to end of season 4, start of season 5 now. And you know what? It's actually getting good.
How many seasons are there?
7.
7. Oh, you're getting close to the end. I've heard like a lot of good things about like the kind of final couple of seasons.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm getting into at the moment, because it seems like so far I've just finished season 4, and I reckon so far from season 1 up to like halfway through season 4, it's just been kind of bitty. You've been seeing a bunch of like one-off episodes where they go off and do this mission or go off and do that mission, and you're slowly introduced to like new characters.
So you've watched like the first kind of 4 seasons. Hypothetically speaking, could one just skip them and jump in at season 5 or something?
You could probably jump in and start at season 4, I reckon.
Season 4.
Because season 4 is like the first half of it is kind of the same formula as the previous 3 seasons. It's just like mission after mission, but you need a little bit of those to get you introduced to some of the new characters that the Clone Wars introduces. And then halfway through season 4, that's when it starts introducing like the overarching plot, I suppose, the thing that's going to drive it all forward.
See, part of me wants to just jump in at season 4, but like I just have this thing where like I have to watch things in order. Like I don't know what it is, but it's probably a bit OCD really, but I always have to like watch it in the order it was made, or like, you know, the right order. I hate jumping in like midway, and I just feel like totally out of place.
I've only ever done that once before with Gotham. I started watching Gotham and I jumped in like halfway through season 1, but I didn't feel lost at all, because I think, again, probably a bit like Clone Wars, the first half of season 1 of Gotham is probably just introducing Bruce Wayne and Penguin and Riddler and all these kind of characters that are in that show. I don't know if you've watched Gotham at all.
I've not started it yet. Like I kind of, part of me wants to, but part of me doesn't really. Like I'm not really that intrigued about it.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good in the later seasons, but it is a chore to sit through, honestly, at least the first season. But the characters do get way more interesting.
I don't think I'm in the mood to start that yet, but it might be something in the future that I'll look at. I feel like you need to be in the right kind of mood to watch something.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, Star Wars Day has just passed, and we've both been in the mood to watch Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
It's probably a lot thanks to, you know, advertising Rise of the Skywalker everywhere, but at the same time, it's been really exciting.
I'm planning on watching Rogue One this weekend, I think. I've got my Rogue One t-shirt on, and I really haven't watched that in a long time. And before The Mandalorian, that is probably one of the best things that Disney Star Wars have produced.
Yeah, I probably agree with that, actually. Disney Star Wars hasn't put out a lot of good things. I think Mandalorian is definitely one of them. The second half of Rogue One is amazing. I love like the second half of that entire film. First half is kind of slow. Second half is great. And I do still enjoy Force Awakens. But, you know, out of the 3 movies that they've done, out of the 3 sequel movies, I think that is the best one. It's definitely the one that I could easily rewatch and still enjoy it.
Yeah, The Force Awakens is just... It doesn't put a foot wrong. It just stays close to A New Hope, and it just gives you Star Wars.
Yeah, I was thinking about this actually the other day. If you compare the sequel trilogy to the prequel trilogy, obviously there's a lot of love for the prequel trilogy now. There wasn't at the time when it came out, but looking back on it, say what you want about it, but they've got so much creativity in terms of like character design and different planets and different ships. And these different sort of cultures, they really build up the universe on these really random, weird-looking things.
Yeah.
But, like, it's new in the prequel, whereas in the sequel trilogy, a lot of it just relies on nostalgia of the original trilogy, where you didn't really have any of that in the prequels because, of course, timeline-wise, it didn't exist yet.
I reckon we could talk hours and hours about the new trilogy, but I feel like that's for another day.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to get carried away otherwise. In the meantime, we've got The Mandalorian. You want to open up?
So, The Mandalorian, I didn't really know much about it before watching it. Like, I'd seen, like, a little bit here. I feel like Mandalorian is probably some of the best work that I've seen from Disney Star Wars so far. The whole scope of it just feels very cinematic.
It is incredible to watch. Like, it's hard to believe that it's a TV show because you watch an episode and it looks like a movie. Straight up looks like a movie, and it's shot incredibly well. I don't know if you've seen like the behind the scenes stuff of it.
I know they've just released like the gallery on Disney Plus, and the first episode's about directing. So I watched that after I watched the finale of The Mandalorian, where it kind of goes into the directors behind the episodes and how their love for Star Wars and their love for this project. But I've not seen too much behind the scenes yet.
I might have to watch that because I've seen a bunch of like behind the scenes clips of how they've worked on it. They've pioneered this new like technology. Effectively, you know how in most like green screen studios, it's just a guy in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
They film whatever they want. They throw in the stuff behind them. They match the lighting, and you're good to go. They've got this new technology they developed for The Mandalorian, where they have a guy in a room, but instead of green screens, you've got high quality LED screens all around you.
Oh, right.
And they use Unity, a game engine, to pretty much create the environment behind them. So when you're standing in the middle of this room and you're looking at the screens, it looks like an extended set. It looks like you're standing on a planet that just goes off into the distance. And it looks incredible. It's very clever. It's brand new, like, pioneer technology, and it looks insane. I'd have to link you like a behind the scenes video of it because it's incredible.
Yeah, man, I'd love to see that. Like, I didn't know like how they were filming it really. Each episode feels so different as well. Like, they tackle kind of different things. You got one that's kind of like a heist kind of episode. The second episode, it's very, very simple and not a lot really happens, but it still works so well.
I did notice that there were a lot of episodes that reminded me of Firefly. I don't know if you've ever seen Firefly. It's the classic, the Joss Whedon classic. It's like a Western space show that was cancelled after one season. It's very famous.
I've watched like a couple of episodes. I feel like I need to properly watch it because I've never actually watched it fully, so I feel like that's on my homework list.
It's such a good show. I would lend it to you because I've got it on Blu-ray. I've also got the movie that followed it called Serenity.
Yeah.
I'll do a trade. The Star Wars Fallen Order for Firefly.
Yeah, I feel like I should definitely get Firefly watched.
But I started seeing a lot of similarities in Mandalorian to Firefly, which did take me out a little bit, I'm not going to lie, because Firefly is, you know, a crew of misfits or what have you that are on a ship, and every episode they change, they go from different environments. It's like in The Mandalorian, they go to a planet where there's some sort of little town they've got to defend against pirates, and that's episode is almost like a carbon copy of something that happened in Firefly. Firefly, they have a prison heist episode. In Mandalorian, they also have a prison heist episode. And the more I kept watching it, by the time I got into like episode 4 or 5, I kind of realised like this is like a modern day version of Firefly in a Star Wars universe. It's that same theme but modernised, like I say, and it really works.
I think it's such a good show. I think the whole tone of the show is really good. One thing I really love is the theme song. The music to the show is amazing, but the theme song, I just can't get enough of listening to that right now.
Oh, it does get really good. It gets into your head. Like,
it's in my head right now.
It starts off very subtle. Like on the first episode, you're like, it's not too bad of a theme, and then by the fourth one, you're like, oh, this is sick.
Just like when that theme comes in, you're like, oh yes, here it comes. But story-wise, did you enjoy the story of The Mandalorian?
I did. It was a bit drawn out, I'm gonna say. The first like episode or two is about, you know, very much about setting up the show and setting up this overarching story for the season.
Yeah.
And then after into like 3, 4, 5, it's more just own little episode enclosed adventures. And then you get into episode 6, 7, 8. That's when it brings back to that season-long story. But overall, the main story is fantastic. They probably could have just interwoven it with those episodes in the middle of the season a little bit better.
I think one thing I really enjoyed was the episode length. Like, you'd have, like, episode 2 was, like, 35 minutes, and, like, episode 1 was, like, 40-something. They really didn't take the piss, really, with the whole episode time, because you get a lot of TV shows where they'll all be, like, 45 minutes, 45 minutes, 45 minutes, and within that 45 minutes, they'll just put some filler in, and with The Mandalorian, it doesn't really do that. It gets right down to the point. I honestly, like, if I was to give this a rating, out of 10, I'd say 9. It's a strong 9.
I would say a strong 8, maybe an 8.5. It was really good. I'm so excited to see a season 2.
Yeah, because season 2's already been filmed and comes out in October.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah, I think they finished filming earlier this year, I think. Yeah, season 2's premiering in October 2020.
Oh, okay. So you got a good reason to keep your Disney Plus subscription going until October.
Exactly. Well, luckily it started in April, I think. Was it April? March?
I don't know. We got it later here in the UK because that's why it ended up being quite good timing for us, because by the time Star Wars Day rolled round, all of The Mandalorian was available to binge, so we just binged it all. I just binged it all in one day.
I watched the first episode when Disney Plus came out, and I was like, nah, I don't like watching weekly. I like to just be able to just sit down, binge an entire season in a couple of days, and that's basically what I did with The Mandalorian, like you.
I think there probably was one little problem with that, though, because there is a sense of real time has passed in episodes. Like, there's a character in, like, the first episode, I think it's, the first episode of the show, who then comes back in a later episode. And in the universe, it kind of establishes, oh, it's been so long since I've last seen you. But of course, if you're binging the show in one day, it's been like 4 hours since you last saw him. So that time gap doesn't really come into play as much. Whereas I suppose if you are watching them once every week, it kind of, the reveal of that character coming back is a bit more impactful because you've had to actually wait a while for him to come back.
Yeah.
Should we talk spoilers? Because I'm quite excited to get into the story fix. Because there was a big moment that I thought was going to happen and didn't happen, and then it kind of blew my mind when it didn't happen. I really want to talk about it.
Yeah, let's jump into the Mandalorian spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, guys, it's on Disney Plus. You can binge it in a day. I recommend it.
Go check it out. If you want to skip, there'll be time codes in the description where you can skip past the spoilers and you can keep on listening. But let's get into it. So, what was the story? Dan, do you want to describe what the actual story of the show was?
So, essentially, it follows the title character, the Mandalorian. Everyone calls him Mando.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was, like, if there's 2 Mandalorians and the short name for a Mandalorian is Mando, those Mandalorians are going to get confused.
That's a very good point, actually. Do they have other names? Do they call them anything?
I'm not 100% certain, because it doesn't really jump too deep into the Mandalorian lore, I think.
No.
It kind of dips your toe in.
It would have been quite nice to see a bit more of that.
But
anyway,
context, back to the story. I think you're much better than explaining stories than me.
All right. It is about the Mandalorian who meets up with this Imperial client and effectively wants him to go and kidnap or go and attain this asset, which turns out to be a little baby Yoda. Oh.
Yeah, baby Yoda.
He's so cute.
Of course, like, he's called the kid in the show.
Yeah, he's baby Yoda. They never actually say what his species is. I don't think anybody actually knows what Yoda's species is, but he's a little baby Yoda and he's adorable.
Oh my god, like, he is probably, like, the most adorablest thing I've ever seen. Like, I think with him, he's so cute, and I swear, like, he's like the Flash, because...
What?
He'll cut away, and he'll be there in, like, no time.
Oh, what, you mean there'll be, like, moments where a character, like, looking at him, they turn their back, they turn back again, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like... For something that's so small, he moves really fast.
Yeah, well, maybe that's because he's doing all of his CGI Yoda flips and he's flipping out of places and they can't see him, even as a baby. But moving on, in the first episode, they got to go and collect Baby Yoda, and you get introduced to the droid bounty hunter who's called IP-88 or something like that.
IG, I think. Hold on.
IG-88. But he's also been sent on this same bounty, same as Mando, to go and get Baby Yoda. Difference is he wants to kill him, and Mandalorian's like, no, don't kill him. And he protects Baby Yoda, so he kills IG-88. It's Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. They go on their adventure.
IG-11, I think.
IG-11, that'll be it. So, because he initially, in episode 2, he delivers the child, and then he kidnaps the child back with the help of the Mandalorians, and then that's where you have the show. It's him on the run, effectively, from the Imperials who were trying to hunt him down and get Baby Yoda.
He actually finally delivers Baby Yoda in episode 3. Episode 2 was quite an interesting episode. I don't know if you remember that one, but episode 2 was where after he shot IG-11 in the head and he discovered the kid, his ship had been taken apart by, is it Jawas?
Oh yeah, it was the Jawas. Yeah, they took his ship apart and like they pretty much ripped everything panel from panel, and he was like trying to hunt down the Jawas to get all his stuff back.
I thought that was quite good to see them in it.
I love the Jawas. And they have their proper like mobile fortress. It was cool trying to see the Mandalorian try to invade the Sandcrawler.
Yeah.
And like climbing up it, that kind of thing. And they're just like throwing rocks at him. And then he gets to the top and he gets shot off of it. And I'm like, of course that was going to happen. What were you expecting to happen? You were going to get to the top and they'll be like, you know what, you've earned it. We'll give you all your stuff back.
I think with episode 3, that's when you kind of see a bit more of the Mandalorians.
Yeah, because he gets his reward for delivering the kid and he gets his new armor. It's like a WoW character. He takes his loot and just invests it in like a new armor upgrade.
I love how like he completes the contract, he delivers the kid, takes the money, and I just love that he has a change of heart. Like, you know, he's got a moral compass and he chooses to take the kid back and cause a whole lot of crap. Pedro Pascal, who plays the Mandalorian, I just love his voice. He's so good. Like every time he speaks, like he doesn't speak as much, but when he does, it's just so good to hear it. Like, I think he does a really good job, and I really can't wait to see more of what he can do.
It's really good. You finally get to see his face at the end of the show, which is like the first time he takes off his helmet ever, because they set that up as Mandalorians never take off their helmet. And it got to a point halfway through, I think it was in the episode 4, Sanctuary, where that's when they're trying to defend a farm from a bunch of pirates who have an ATST. Is it an ATST?
Like, yeah, they got an ATS. I think that's like one of my favourite episodes of the season. That was so well done.
That was really cool. I did like that. That was one of the episodes that reminded me a lot of Firefly, because that is pretty much a carbon copy of an episode of Firefly if you just take out the ATST. But it's really good. It was a really cool design though. I really liked it. The red eyes on it looked really sinister.
Oh, through the forest, like when you just see like the red eyes appear, I just loved that. The whole look of that kind of end battle scene was brilliant.
I did keep thinking at points, like, firstly, I thought it was quite dark. Like, just some moments in the show itself, I had to turn the brightness up on my telly to be able to tell what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
But also there were moments that, like in that Sanctuary episode, I'm thinking, all of these guys, this entire village is kind of banded together to take on these pirates and to take down this ATST. Like, this is the big threat. But a bunch of, like, 2-foot-tall Ewoks with like string and wood managed to take down loads of these. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking, how useless are these farmers that they can't take down one ATST when a bunch of Ewoks can? So, I don't know. I just kind of had that in my head and I thought that was quite funny. But the battle was great. And then you have the next episode, which was the Gunslinger or something like that, right?
They go to Tatooine?
Yeah, that's right. And what is it? He finds like another bounty hunter. Mandalorian finds another one of the guild of bounty hunters who's like a starter. He's like new into the world of bounty hunting.
He wants to get into the guild.
Yeah.
How that episode starts, like he's in like a gunfight, like a dogfight in space.
Yeah.
With another ship, so his ship's a bit damaged, and he parks up at basically like a repair garage, but he hasn't got the money to afford it, and that's where the gunslinger kind of guy comes in.
Yeah, he gets a job with him and hates him out. It's not a great episode.
I think that's the weakest episode out of it all, to be honest, because like I felt myself turning off a little bit watching that one. Like there were some good parts, but overall it was a bit not that good.
That did feel like quite a drawn out episode. There wasn't a lot that happened in it to keep me hooked. There weren't a lot of visual stuff going on because obviously it's Tatooine, which is a big desert place.
Yeah. Moving on, episode 6 was quite good. That was the heist kind of episode.
Yeah, I did like that. Although I was really confused at the beginning of it, like why he was there. I must have missed something at the very start of the episode, but I kept thinking like he doesn't want to do this prison break. He doesn't like the people he's going with to do the prison break. Why is he doing the prison break?
I think it's because of like what the actions that he took, taking the kid away from the client. He's like blacklisted a bit from the guild.
Oh, I see.
So I think that like he's using like old contacts that, you know, he can get work with because he still wants to work and get money.
I get you. So he had to just like take any job he can find, really.
You just knew that crew was going to turn on him. Like, they were just such arseholes.
But yeah, one that I loved, I did not expect to see, was the robot, the droid.
Oh, that voice. As soon as I heard his voice, I was like, no way.
I couldn't believe it either. It's Richard Ayoade is playing the droid out of the bounty team. I was like, I did not see that coming at all. I watched that episode and I texted you saying, "Oh, wait till you get to episode 5. You'll hear a voice and you'll love it." There's an unexpected cameo by a guy, and it was so good.
I think the casting has been like brilliant throughout the entire season, because another robot voice is Taika Waititi. Is that how you say it? Taika?
What? No, you butchered that name. What?
I can't say names. How do you say it?
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi, yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh my god, he voices IG. What's his face?
Oh, does he voice IG-88?
IG-11, yeah. He's the voice of IG-11.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. I knew he voiced...
What?
He definitely voiced a stormtrooper on the beginning scene of the finale episode, and that was by far the best scene in the whole show. I didn't know he voiced the droid either, though. I didn't twig that.
He voices the droid.
Oh my god, how did I not know that?
Come on!
No, I didn't recognise that. I mean, okay, now we're both fair. You can't pronounce his name, and I can't recognise his voice, so we're even.
But we're even. But going back to, where were we? Episode 6?
Yeah, the prison break. It's really good. It's really well done.
Honestly, like, they tricked me, because I honestly felt like he killed them all. I was like, you betray me, I will kill you.
Yeah, that I didn't. There was one bit of that I didn't like, because it's set up like, oh yeah, didn't actually kill any of them. He just locked them all in a cell. But he definitely killed the big lizard dude. He squashed him with a door. Like, he saw that. There's a bit where he's like, he trapped him in a door and he's holding the door up, and he pushes the button and 2 other like massive doors come in from the side and squash him, and it cuts away just before you actually see him squash. It was like, he's dead. There's no way he didn't survive that or be brutally killed from that.
He looked a bit like Hellboy, I thought.
He did look a lot like Hellboy. You see him at the end just chilling out in the prison cell. It's like, no, you should be at least like as flat as a pancake or something. You shouldn't be chilling out.
Quite a strong guy, so maybe he can withhold it, I guess.
I don't know. I was surprised how many people got killed by doors in this entire show, actually.
Doors are lethal, mate. Come on.
And there was a guy in the very first episode, like, you first see Mandalorian, he kills a guy with a door. It's in the trailer, actually. It's like a circle one that closes around him. It's like, wow, a lot of people get killed by doors in this universe. Didn't know that.
I think, like, when we get to episode 7, it almost is like getting the gang back together kind of thing.
Yeah, that's when it starts getting back into like the overarching story of the season, because he gets a message, doesn't he, from his guild boss, what have you. He's saying, "Oh, come back to the town."
Ex-guild boss.
Yeah, he's like, "Come back to the town. There's the Imperial guy here that you stole Baby Yoda from is getting real annoying, and he's like taking over the town and what have you. You got to help me take him out." There's a whole, because the 7 and 8 are effectively one episode. It's a 2-part finale, right?
Yeah, like it does feel like a long episode.
Yeah,
I felt quite long that bit, like the kind of like build up to it. Carl Weathers is great as Grief Karga, but his character kind of reminded me. I don't know if you've seen Solo, but Woody Harrelson's character in Solo.
Oh, don't remind me of him. Okay, no, I really hated Solo, but yeah, I can kind of see where you can get that comparison from.
Of course, episode 8, I think I saw your tweet about it and I didn't think anything of it, and then I watched episode 8 this morning, and the opening scene of episode 8, oh my god, I couldn't stop laughing.
It's the best scene of the whole show. Honestly, I was getting a bit fatigued because I'd binged the entire show in one day, so I was like, and I didn't know how many episodes there were. I wasn't sure if there were 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So by the time 8 rolled around, I was like, oh, this is great, because the intro is so Taika Waititi, because he directed the final episode. It's so well done, and that opening scene is by far my favourite scene in the entire show. I'm absolutely fine with saying that.
I just loved like them just talking.
Yeah, you get to see a conversation from the Stormtroopers' perspective. And I like that they make a joke in that about Stormtroopers being really bad at aiming, because they're just trying to kill some time by shooting a can, and neither of them can hit it. So I thought that was quite funny as well.
Does no one teach these people how to shoot?
And then the whole episode is really good. At the end of episode 7, they kind of tease up to this sort of big final battle between the main Imperial dude, who I can't remember the name of. He's played by the guy in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, so I think the guy in the show is called Gideon Moff. I cannot pronounce his name, the actor's name, without butchering it. It's Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, sure. You know what? I'll believe you.
I've actually met him in real life, though.
Have you? Oh, yeah, you met him at Comic-Con, didn't you?
I went to Walker Stalker Con. I got a picture with him. Hands down, one of the kindest actors I've ever met. Like, he was so, like, it's. I don't know if you've ever done, like, a photo shoot, but it's really kind of quick. Like, you're, like, in, out, in, out. But, like, it was him and RJ Mitty, who plays Walt's son in Breaking Bad. I got a duo photo with them.
Oh, yeah.
And no word of a lie, like, both of them, RJ Mitty as well was great, took their time, you know, like, it's a really quick process, but they took their time to, like, oh, hey, how are you? Like, I shook his hand and I was like, oh my God. And then the photo, he just had his Gus look from Breaking Bad, like, absolute evil.
Just goes straight back into character. He's like, yeah, maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe
I love him.
Are you sure he's actually being really nice? Or maybe that's his acting and he goes back to being, like, his proper gruff face. It's the other way around.
Of all the people they could choose to play Moff Gideon, I'm so glad they've chosen him, and I can't wait to see what he brings with the character in season 2.
I did want to see more of him. Most of the show is based off the Imperial dude who is hired by the Mandalorian, who isn't him. It's like one of his like lackeys or what have you. So you don't actually get to see a lot of what was his name again?
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon. You don't actually get to see a lot of Moff Gideon throughout the show. You only see him in the last 2 episodes. It would have been really good if he had been the original guy who recruited Mandalorian at the start, and then you get a sense for this villain, rather than bringing your main villain, quote unquote, in at the end of the season.
Of course, the original guy that the Mandalorian takes the contract from, Moff just slaughters. Like, he slaughters the entire building.
Yeah, he takes them out.
The battle sequence beforehand, that was just insane. That was one of my favourite scenes, favourite action scenes from the series.
That was really good, actually, because it's IG Taika Waititi robot dude, whatever his name is. It comes in with Baby Yoda that he stole from the 2 comedy stormtroopers at the beginning. He's like, protect the child, because he's been reprogrammed by this point, and he's just going in, taking down all of these stormtroopers left, right, and centre. It's really good.
Oh, and Baby Yoda does his thing.
Oh, Baby Yoda. He's so adorable throughout the show. I think we've skipped over the beautiful, adorable moments that Baby Yoda has in this show. But
I just love like the moment with the cup, and he's just like watching them fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's so adorable. I do love that he gets not Baby Yoda, but Mando gets his jetpack at the end.
Yes. Oh, now that was amazing. I love that jetpack sequence. See, I think that might be my favourite action sequence.
I forgot about that.
I love that he finally got his jetpack and he got like proper armor and all that kind of stuff. I love that there was a TIE fighter actually as well, because it kind of showed that they were still remnants of the Empire after Return of the Jedi, as there would still be Empire equipment. That's why they've got 1 ATST, these Pirates of Nick. That's why this guy still has at least 1 TIE fighter. It's not like going overboard. It's not doing a prequel thing where it's like, oh, there's 300 TIE fighters in the air, the Mandalorian's got to take them all out. It's just 1, which makes the stakes feel a bit more personal.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great. There was the moment just before that jetpack sequence when IG-88, he gave his life to save everybody, which I thought was quite good. He wants to self-destruct. I think that's pretty obvious, right? Like, every opportunity he got, he tried to just kill himself.
Because he tried to, like, blow himself up in the first episode.
Yeah, like, multiple times.
Even though he's a robot, like, I didn't want him to die. Like, I wanted him to stay. I wanted to them, have adventures.
I didn't feel that close to him, honestly. Because we introduced him in the first episode, and in that episode he dies. There's then a long break until he comes back at the end of the season, where it's a completely different personality, because he's been completely differently reprogrammed, and then he dies. I'm like, I don't know. He was a great character, and he was very funny, but I think that's it. Beyond him being funny, I didn't really feel a lot for him. But it was quite a cool death scene where he, like, voluntarily, finally self-destructed and killed a bunch of stormtroopers. They get out off the lava river. Oh, I did like the R2-D2 astromech like boat rower that they had.
Oh, that was weird. Like, I had to I missed that when he stood up, and I was like, I looked away from the screen for 1 second, and I turned back, and he's got legs. I was like, what? Rewind.
Oh, it was really creepy to see it actually as well. It was weird. It was like a cursed image. One thing that I need to bring up, because it absolutely changed my view on the entire show, honestly, the second it happened.
Yeah.
I got a spoiler for The Mandalorian months ago, and I saw there's only 1 shot. I just saw a shot in the show of the Mandalorian at the very end of the finale at a grave, and he's tendering a grave and he's burying somebody.
Yeah.
And of course, at the end of the show, it's Quill, because he dies trying to protect Yoda. It's his mentor that he found. Now, when I saw that spoiler months ago, I was certain it was Baby Yoda.
Oh, really?
I was certain. I was like, oh, shit. Show's been spoiled. It's absolutely ruined. Baby Yoda dies at the end of the season. I was certain that he was burying Baby Yoda in that grave. Because it was a small grave. But, of course, Quill was a small person anyway, so it makes sense now. So the entire show and the entire finale, I was trying to make an effort to not get too connected to Baby Yoda. Because I thought, because I was certain he was going to die by the end of the show. And then that shot happened, and I'm like, shit, he didn't die! Oh my god! Baby Yoda is actually going to go into the next season. Baby Yoda is a main character. He's actually going to stick around. Oh my god. I was so certain he was going to die. Because I thought that's so easy to see. They built up this really cute character that you can't help but fall in love with him. And then take him away at the end. I thought, oh, it's obvious. They're so going to kill him. And they don't. And I didn't realise that until that shot happened. So whilst the credits are rolling, I'm just sitting there, like, clawing my hair out, going, oh my god, I can't believe it.
Gone through, like, the entire show, like, yeah, Baby Yoda's going to die. I don't care about you. Baby Yoda's going to die.
Yeah. When I was watching the entire season, I had this, like, predetermined filter in my head as, like, Baby Yoda's going to die. So don't get too attached. Don't get too worried. You've been spoiled for it. So, you know, it's only going to go that way. And then the spoiler that I thought it wasn't. And it blew my goddamn mind.
Well, season 2, I'm assuming we're going to see a little bit... Well, we're going to see a lot more of Baby Yoda.
I hope so.
Potentially more about the entire species.
Yeah.
Because the Mandalorian's been tasked with returning him home.
Oh, true. Oh, does that mean he's going to go to Dagobah?
I have no idea. Like, season 2, like, I have no idea what to expect.
Is Yoda from Dagobah? Or was he just camping out there because he was like, he didn't have anywhere else to go? I can't remember.
I honestly have no clue, but I can't wait to find out more about the species.
I can't wait. Now that I know that Baby Yoda is alive and he's actually going to have a part to play in season 2, I'm really excited.
Yeah, we don't have to wait that long because October, season 2.
Did not realise it was that quick. I'm excited.
They've also started like pre-production or like pre-planning on season 3, so we're most likely going to get season 3 as well.
Good. Just keep it coming. It's the best thing that Disney Plus has to offer so far. I'll say that.
Of course, it was announced on Star Wars Day that... Can you say his name quickly so I can remember how to say it?
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
I can't believe you, man.
Taika Waititi.
Yes.
Okay. Right, okay. Taika Waititi. Right, give me a minute. Taika Waititi is actually going to be directing a new Star Wars film.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. I think you messaged me that earlier in the week. I'm quite excited to see that.
I cannot think of like a better person to tackle Star Wars. Come out of nowhere, really, Taika Waititi. Like, the first kind of film that I knew that he did was Thor Ragnarok.
Really?
Yeah. He's also done Jojo Rabbit, which was another film, which is really, really good.
I still haven't seen that yet. That might be a future episode. I do really want to watch that movie. If he's going to go into like a Star Wars theme, he's already managed to set a really good precedent with Thor Ragnarok, this kind of space adventure movie.
And he's already directed an episode of The Mandalorian, so I am super excited to see what he can do with an actual feature-length film.
If we're going into a bit of new stuff, there's not really a massive amount of news, I suppose, that's happened this week. I mean, Taika Waititi directing a Star Wars movie is pretty good. Apparently, Josh Trank did an interview at some point this week, like a major one, and...
I did see that.
Yeah.
I haven't read the interview, like, I skimmed it.
Yeah, I haven't really read the interview in details, although apparently a lot of information has come out about the production of Fantastic Four from that movie.
Have you actually seen that film?
Fantastic Four?
Like the one that Josh Trank did?
Yes, unfortunately.
I think that's probably one of the worst films I've ever seen. Like, it's in the top 10, I think.
It's so bad. I swear to God, the production and the behind the scenes of making that movie is way more interesting than the actual movie.
I mean, there's a lot I want to say about that film.
But anyway, Josh Trank apparently did this interview recently where he talked about, you know, the production of Fantastic Four. And a bunch of different headlines and stuff are coming out about it. Like, one of them is like, he explains the conflict between him and Miles Teller that happened on set. Apparently they really didn't get on a lot.
Yeah.
He also went into detail talking about the reshoots and how the reshoots made him feel very castrated, because there's obviously a lot of rumours about how the studio filtered that film down a lot, and that's why Josh Trank really hated it. And then he also talked about apparently bringing a gun to protect himself from the backlash of casting Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm.
What?
Back in that movie, yeah. Because remember when that movie came out, it was announced that Michael B. Jordan was going to be playing Johnny Storm. everyone got an uproar because, you know, he wasn't racially the same as Sue Storm. You know, they were supposed to be brother and sister, and it didn't make sense. They were different, and there was a huge backlash on it when it came out.
Yeah.
And apparently he carried a gun around with him to protect himself from it. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, how much threat do you think you're under? It's just a casting choice in a movie.
Seriously.
It's insane. He says, I quote, "I was so fucking paranoid during that shoot. If someone came into my house, I would have ended their fucking life." It's like,
what?
This is ridiculous. These are quotes from him during this interview. It's absolutely insane.
You know, I feel I don't know too much about it, but it sounds like it really affected him badly, like the whole process.
Yeah, I don't think anybody benefited from that movie. None of the cast enjoyed making it. It doesn't sound like. Josh Trank certainly didn't like it. The studio didn't like it. It didn't make any money. None of the people who watched it liked it. Like, it was it was only made so they could keep the rights for the Fantastic Four, which of course they don't have anymore because they sold out to Disney. So it doesn't make any difference.
I don't know if you knew, but I think Josh Trank was actually meant to originally direct Star Wars 3, which is Rise of the Skywalker, before it was that.
Yes, I did hear that. That was true. I wonder what we would have gotten, to be honest. Because imagine, I reckon Rise of Skywalker would have been very different. It's very obvious that in Episode 9, when J.J. Abrams came back, he tried to steer it back towards whatever, like, vague idea that he had after he finished Episode 7.
Yeah.
So he tried to steer it back towards that. If Josh Trank had come in with, you know, no predetermined sort of ideas about where the story would go and had to come in after Episode 8, we would have got a totally different movie.
You see, that's another thing I love, just jumping back onto The Mandalorian about it, is that it's a group of directors and they're all on the same page.
Yeah. It's all by one writer as well. It's Jon Favreau who wrote the entire season.
Yeah.
Which is he's who directed Iron Man. He's in, obviously, the MCU is Happy. He's great. He's a chef and all that kind of stuff. And he wrote the entire season of The Mandalorian, so he got new directors in for each episode to direct them all. I didn't realise, speaking of that, Bryce Dallas Howard directed Episode 4.
Yeah, the one with the ATS.
Yeah, the ATST one. And she directed that. I was like, wow, I noticed her name come up at the end credits of that episode. I was like, wow, it's a damn good thing to add to her resume. It was a good episode.
Yeah, I know. Have you got any more bits of news?
Only one piece of news. I suppose it's quite a major one. I'm not sure if it really pertains to us so much, because I don't know how interested you are in this.
Yeah.
The Last of Us 2, the new PS4 game that is on the horizon, has had massive leaks. This has been like a story that's been going on for the last couple of weeks. You probably have heard about it somewhere on Facebook or on YouTube or something like that.
Someone teased me with spoilers the other day. Mark.
Oh, yeah.
We would have kicked off if he put the spoilers in the group, just saying.
Have you played the first game then?
Yeah, man. I actually took a week off work a couple of years ago, and I thought, I got Last of Us, and I played it the entire week. It's such a good game. Have you not played it?
Oh, damn. No, I haven't actually played it. I know the story of the first game, because I never actually played it when it came out, and I saw playthroughs and walkthroughs and what have you. So I know the vague story, but I've never actually played the game. I do have it. I've got the remastered version on PS4, which I got for free during a PlayStation Plus 3-month game thing. But no, I've never actually played it.
You definitely should give it a go, because The Last of Us 2 comes out 19th of June.
Yes.
So you got time.
Well, there's a lot of conflicting information, because The Last of Us... So you probably have heard of this. The Last of Us 2 had a massive hack, effectively, where a lot of information about the story elements of the game leaked. I'm not going to talk about any of the spoilers, don't worry about that. Although I will say, I do know what the spoilers are. But I'm not that bothered about The Last of Us plot and storyline anyway, so I decided I would just read them. And honestly, I read them about 2 days ago, and I've already forgotten them, because I don't know any of the characters, so it's not relevant to me. But anyway, this massive leak happened for The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
It was first reported that apparently it was a disgruntled developer of Last of Us 2 who released all the information from Naughty Dog. And he was like, I don't like how they're treating us on crackdowns for trying to get the game out. And he released all the information. That was then debunked, because apparently it came out that it was some third-party hacker who got in and did the information leaks. But all the leaks are, from what we can tell, true, because there's cutscenes and there's hour-long snippets of gameplay footage to kind of tie it all together.
Okay.
And people aren't enjoying what the leaks are. They really hate the story elements that it's gone for, which means that Naughty Dog is now in this kind of limbo where it's so close to the game's release, are they going to do things to change the story, or are they going to double down on the story they have done? Because a lot of big Last of Us fans have read the leaks, and they don't like where the story has gone.
Yeah, story-wise, it'll be interesting to see where they go.
From what I've seen of the leaks, like the gameplay and the game itself looks amazing and it looks really beautiful.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to tell you what the spoilers are for the story.
I'll kick off.
Yeah. Like I say, I've never played the first game, so as somebody who's never played the first game and now knows the story leaks for the second game, I can kind of understand where fans might be coming from if they've seen what I've seen, but at the same time, it's not something that really bothers me that much. And I guess we'll find out in, a few months when Last of Us 2 comes out.
Yeah, exactly. Not long to wait for that one, but you should definitely... I can't believe you've not played Last of Us.
I might have to do that.
You got all this spare time on your hand. You should definitely pick it up.
But yeah, not a lot of other big news stories this week, honestly. I think both of us have been kind of distracted by, like, Star Wars Day and watching The Mandalorian and that kind of thing. So,
yeah,
pretty good nonetheless. So I think we've covered pretty much everything we wanted to. A big kind of Star Wars episode discussion today. We might have to do an episode in the future where we go a bit more in depth into, like, the Star Wars movies and stuff. That's definitely going to be ahead of us. But in the meantime...
Thank you very much for listening. I've just checked the stats at the moment. We're at 125, so I honestly can't believe it. And thank you very much for listening.
Oh, yeah. We recently hit 100 downloads. Actually, only like 2 days ago, and we were watching the countdown as it happened, and we're so happy that we got 100 listeners. So thank every single one of you. You're absolutely fantastic for listening, and I really hope you're enjoying it.
We are now on Facebook, so you can find us, the Geek Vault. There'll be a link in the description, along to our Twitter and website. If you've enjoyed the episode today, maybe share it with a friend.
Remember, if you have any kind of suggestions for stuff you want to talk about in the future, you can always tweet at us, or now you can Facebook at us. All those links will be in the description, as Dan said.
Yeah, guys, we really love to hear from you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.